This is Uncharted, a series of candid conversations about facing uncertainty. When we are called upon to be courageous, the strength of our leadership is tested. Red Direction has developed the Fast Track Your Business program to help you stay aligned to your business's true north. Jess Dewell is your guide. Jess brings you a 20-year track record of business excellence where strategy and operations overlap. Your path comes from consistently working from this special place, your unique true north. Now, here's Jess.
Welcome back to the Bold Business Podcast, where I am excited to bring you another Uncharted program. Today, I'm talking with Tracie Lamourie, a high-profile international award-winning publicist. She is the founder and managing director of Lamourie Media, Inc. She has numerous awards, including Universal Women's Network 2020 Woman of Inspiration winner, and the Women in Media Award, as well as becoming an author. She has a book that's going to be coming out called Get Repped, Build Your Brand with Effective Public and Media Relations. Okay, so not only is she an advocate, not only is she doing all of these things that you're going to hear about in just a minute, she is a business owner like us. And in being a business owner like us, before I tell you any more about that, which you already know a lot, I'm going to just say, hi, I'm Jess. Welcome back. It's going to be great to have you here with me for this conversation about how to increase the capacity of yourself and your leadership team. We're talking about the real nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty in our businesses and the things that we've learned that make us more resilient over time. Oh, Tracie, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited about the conversation and to be speaking to your audience.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know, they love being flies on the wall. So this is the perfect part of that, the perfect setup for this. So one of the things that we do in these Uncharted programs is we dig into a lot about challenges that we've had within our businesses or challenges that we've had because of our businesses personally and how we've moved through those. So will you tell us about a situation that you've faced and a challenge that you've worked through in your company?
Sure. I want to mention one really briefly and then one a more
Yes.
universal one that really was this year that I think COVID a lot of people dealt with. But first, not specific to this year or any year. In general, one thing as an entrepreneur that's been really hard for me, an entrepreneur who started as a freelancer, and then I built a business 5 years with a general partnership, which is like a solopreneurship only with my husband. And then we just incorporated, as you said, 5 or 6 months ago, which, yay, I mean, yeah, so it's really interesting for me trajectory because I didn't grow up knowing how to build businesses or ever think of myself as starting a corporation. Freelancer, that was my comfort zone. And then, I was my business consultant finally looking at my resume and all the things I've accomplished. It's like, you are kicking way above your freelancer position. You need to incorporate. So finally I did. But finding that comfort zone, I mean, stepping out of my comfort zone to do that kind of thing, because I think I would have continued to be a freelancer forever because I'm really good at what I do and dealing with clients and getting the results, but I knew nothing about the back end. And to be honest, that's intimidating to me still, like, reporting and those employees and all the different kind of CPA, like all the different kind of things you do when you become a corporation. Thankfully, my husband, is looking after that for me. He's he's done finance and all that stuff. So that's his side of things. And I'm communications, but also really finding your price point and trusting yourself as an entrepreneur that clients will come at that price point, not being afraid of losing a client. So pitching yourself too low, really finding your value in the marketplace, trusting that value in the marketplace was really a challenge for me, even as my resume and my results and my profile went way, way higher than, most people in my area would possibly do. So yeah, that was one. And the other thing was COVID. I'm actually really, really proud of the way I led us and pivoted through COVID, because in March, a year ago, 80% of our business was probably I mean, I always dealt with a lot of entrepreneurs and such, but a lot of our active plans in business at that time were speaking engagements for authors, for clients of ours, events and concerts. We were supposed to be, my husband and I, on reality TV, going to travel to 6 different cities across the West Coast as playing ourselves as PR on a music show. And just, another big conference was supposed to be happening in August. So all of a sudden, boom, we literally lost 80% of our business. Just because, I mean, the clients were still with us, but they had nothing to do. There's nothing to promote. It's everyone's. So for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever it was, I'm doing like everybody else in the world. I'm just staring at the television, looking at the internet, watching every leader and what they're saying, provincial and federal and state leaders, everybody. And just being like this, oh no, what are we going to do? And then I suddenly realized if I lost 80% of my business, I still have 20% of my business. And if I'm sitting here staring at the TV, worrying about all this, I'm not effectively doing that 20% of my business, right? So I went back to my desk. I turned off the TV, literally went back to my desk. You agree with that? You're like, right, right.
I am. Okay, so I want to know, how low did you go? I mean, were you depressed? Were you spiraling, or are you one of those people who you just kind of see it and can flip the script right away?
I'm pretty even keeled, but I was pretty stressed. I mean, all of a sudden travel, I mean, this was a weird year. And the fact that it was different, it was no different. I couldn't go to Europe and make it different. I can't go to the States and make it different. I can't, it's the same everywhere. Like, whoa, what's going on? How do I even navigate this? So like, I think I was just in that stunned, just staring at the TV, like literally in shock, and thinking, am I going to have like a forced vacation? I've just been doing so well building my business. 2019, I had 9 trips with 9 different clients to 5 different countries on 4 continents. And now all of a sudden, what? So all this stuff that we were developing to continue it on that track is gone. So all of a sudden I'm just thinking, so I think I didn't really get depressed or anything, but I cried a couple times, I guess, more about the thinking about the travel, the overwhelmed. I got overwhelmed by the idea that it was so big.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I thought, no, you know what, if I still have 20% of my business, I still have 20% of my business. And,
And
I have to.
And it sounds like, so after that shift, I've got 20% of my business. So what did you do with that 20% of your business?
So first, I literally went to, and just started to see how can I serve these clients? Still, what can I do to serve these clients? And also, then I started thinking, okay, the authors. Number one, I reached out to all the authors. Okay, we got to ramp things up because people can't watch Netflix forever. This would be a good time, to hopefully get that kind of conversation out there. And just, started doing, anything that was still, we had the computer in front of it, anything that wasn't about physical location. So any client that's still at a product, a book, idea, speaking about inspiration, a lot of stories about inspiration, getting through things.
Yeah.
So I just found, did a lot of research to find, this year I won the Women of Inspiration. Somebody now, nominated me for that. I ultimately won. As soon as I found out I was nominated, I nominated like 20 power women clients all across different industries. 2 of them won too. So I made stuff happen for them there, got them on stages, just found what can we still do? And that's what I think it is just, and ultimately the end of that story, somehow I navigated and pivoted so well and found other projects and reached out and did, between last October and next April, I'm booked on 180, or I've done business themed podcasts literally around the world, from Oman to India. I've been hired as a result, when I wasn't even thinking about that, by the podcasters, because it turns out it's great for marketing and networking, as we're all sitting here in front of these screens wondering what we can do.
Right.
Yeah. So I ended up just finding ways, and ultimately our descent, and then we ended up doing so well that we we're confident to incorporate, and then in the middle of COVID, and then our December, and I'm embarrassed to say this because some people are not doing well, but our December was better than any month we've ever had, and then our January beat that, and then our February beat that. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, things are just coming in, people are hearing me, people are seeing, other people are being told, oh, this person did amazing work for me, she changed my business. And they're coming. So to the point where I'm almost like, whoa, I gotta figure out how to be a job creator, because I can keep getting all these clients. I can make jobs happen now. And that's another jump. that'll be when you have me on next year when I explain that challenge, because I don't know how to do that. Like to jump from being an entrepreneur or a solopreneur to a company, and then to being teaching people to do it and hiring, and it's a whole other.
All the strategy.
But I want to do it.
I'm telling you, it's okay. You've got a lot of really good experience just from this last year. And that makes me want to know, what did you lean into the most when you were like, I've got to find the new, I've got to focus on what I already have. What did you rely on and lean into within yourself during that time?
I don't even know. I think I've always just been like people have told me even since I was young. I remember my friend's mom when I was 15 telling me, I watch you and you get through a lot of stuff. It doesn't matter what, you go through a lot. And I didn't even thought of myself as going through a lot at that time. But she said, I see you go through a lot of stuff. Your parents divorced, this and that. I'm like, oh, well, I think I learned, what's funny? I read in psychology, I'm a reader. And I read in Psychology Today not long ago, actually, because I read everything, which happened to be reading it cover to cover. We picked it up at the doctor's office somewhere, dentist, I don't know. And I enjoyed it. I was like, I should get a subscription to this. This is neat. But one thing, because I learned like 3 things in the one magazine. When that happens, I like it. And then one of the things I learned, they were talking about how reading apparently is an amazing coping mechanism, for people who've been, and I thought, geez, that's so true. Because ever since I've been like 5, I've been a reader. And doesn't matter how emotionally upset I get I get in a big fight or an argument with my mom when I was a kid or my husband now or whatever. And then I go sit, okay, I've had enough of this, and go sit down, pick up the New Yorker or whatever, 2 pages in. Now I'm reading, my brain's not thinking about that anymore. I'm not going over that in my mind. Instead, I'm reading about this incredible invention or this annoying politician or, whatever.
Right.
And now I'm thinking about completely different. So I think a lot of that just as a lifetime thing, I've always been like that. I always pick up a book, calm down, stressed out. I'll just read for 10 minutes, Oh,
I'm telling you, there's so many fun things that we can do. I do puzzles when I need to clear my mind, because it sounds like when you're even keeled, you like settle in and go, all right, you automatically, what do I have and where do I want to focus? Me, I'm like, well, how many ideas can I think of? What could be next? And so I do, it sounds like you read to take a break, and I do puzzles to let everything like settle back in.
Exactly. There you go.
And I think that that's super fantastic. And you've already shared the outcome, which is you've been having fantastic growth.
It's crazy. Like, I can't even believe it.
Fantastic growth. And so what did you learn about yourself and your leadership in all of this?
That I can get through it all. Like, it doesn't matter, what it is, but I can actually get through anything, and apparently lead a company through it.
So I've heard that confidence is incredibly important in making things happen. Has that been your experience?
Confidence?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I say that too from the very beginning. I mean, I whenever I speak to any expert in any field, I'm always like, why aren't you being interviewed on TV and stuff? And or in the media or getting out there or writing. And the first thing they're always like, me? Well, why would anyone? And that's literally, so it's everything. And I think the reason for all of my successes as a young person, as an older person in everything, is that, I haven't been afraid to speak out. I've always, from activist stuff to young, to now growing my business, I've always been like, no, I'm in the room. I have every right to be at the same table as everybody,
Yeah.
I'm here because I'm knowledgeable. And I think a lot of people just stop themselves. It really is that there's a glass ceiling, and there's a ceiling for people, of color, and there's all kinds of challenges, but everyone has different things in front of them. We don't all start at the same place, right? But like I was saying to somebody, it doesn't matter who we are or what those challenges are. This isn't just airy fairy positivity. If we're standing there and looking at those challenges and just thinking, oh man, I just can't get by, this is just too much, then you're not going anywhere. But if you're like, okay, what's the first one? I'm going to try to knock this down. Maybe you can, probably you can. You see yourself do it. And then you think, and then you have that confidence, like you said, to knock the second one down. And that's literally what it takes. When you instill that in yourself, you can honestly move mountains, help free a guy from death row, whatever it is that you're into doing.
You've been listening to Uncharted. Fast Track Your Business subscribers receive access to a vast set of resources, including extended conversations to this and other Uncharted episodes. Visit fasttrackyourbusinesstoday.com.
Your preparedness and the right perspective is absolutely necessary when you find yourself somewhere uncharted. Special thanks to the Scott Treatment for production assistance.